Everyone is talking about climate change, but what is our climate and why is it changing? Climate is the weather pattern in a certain location that can shift from hour to hour, day to day, month to month, and even years to year. It usually takes hundreds or thousands of years for the climate to change, but recently our climate has been changing much faster. And the biggest cause of climate change is humans, including you and me. You see, when generating power, manufacturing goods, and transportation, the majority of energy is still generated by burning coal, oil, or gas, which emits carbon dioxide or nitrous oxide, two potent greenhouse gases that blanket the earth and trap the sun's heat. Cutting down forests. When trees are chopped down to make room for agriculture and building cities, the carbon they have been storing is released, causing emissions of greenhouse gases in a number of ways and leading to deforestation. Consuming too much. Do you know a large chunk of global greenhouse gas emissions are linked to private households? Our lifestyles have a profound impact on our planet. Your housing and energy usage, how you commute, what you eat, and how much waste you generate all contribute to greenhouse gas emissions. In Vietnam, the temperature and precipitation tend to keep climbing and the frequency of extreme events is getting worse. Furthermore, the distribution of precipitation in time and space is more uneven and extreme value of rainfall has been mounting. The rising surface temperature causes a decline in ice mass. Oceans absorb about 90% of the excess heat from the surrounding air. As the rate of warming increases, the heat permeates to deep waters and harms marine ecosystems. Satellite observations indicate that the sea height is increasing and will continue to rise at a rapid pace, and negatively affects the population of coastal areas. Temperature extremes reduce food and agriculture product output because plants and animals cannot adapt to excessively hot conditions in time, causing concern about the extinctions of various animal and plant species. Infectious illnesses are all on the rise as a result of climate change. Additionally, high temperature have an effect on the immune system, stress, heart illness, breathing issues, and neurological disease. Climate change caused by humans has also resulted in increasingly severe forest fires, since flames spread more quickly as humidity declines and the air becomes drier. The most common example is forest fires in Australia, which result in deaths of thousands of people, building destruction, and wildfire extinction. Climate change causes natural catastrophes that affect agricultural productivity, which is the greatest contributor to Vietnam's GDP and the primary source of income for the country's populations, as well as fisheries production and output. Floods impede commodity transit, as well as import and export. Though the number of typhoons in our country has dropped in the past few years, the strength and the extent of destruction have grown and will continue to spread southward. While the northern section of Vietnam witnessed a historic cold wave that lasted for weeks, resulting in crops and animal losses worth millions of dollars. To address the direct consequences of sea level rise, the government proposes measures of full protection, like strengthening and elevating embankments across the nation, elevating houses above flood levels, and leaving coastal areas and relocating inland.
One creative way to prevent and adapt to climate change is through the implementation of natural-based solutions. These are innovative approaches that utilize the power of nature to mitigate and adapt to climate change impacts. Here are a few examples. Coastal restoration and natural infrastructure. Protect coastal areas by restoring mangroves, coral reefs, and dunes. These natural barriers provide vital protection against climate change, storm surges, erosion, and sea level rise, while also supporting biodiversity and provide habitats for marine life. Agroforestry and sustainable farming practices. Implement agroforestry system that integrate trees with agricultural crops. This approach helps sequester carbon, improve soil health, preserve water resources, and enhance the resilience of agriculture system to climate change. Climate resilient buildings. Design and construct buildings that are energy efficient. Use sustainable materials, and incorporate natural ventilation and lighting. Additionally, incorporating green spaces and rooftop gardens can help cool urban areas and enhance the overall livability of cities. Community-based adaptation projects encourage the participation of local communities in climate change adaptation projects. This can include community-led reforestation initiatives, sustainable fishing practice, or community-based disaster risk reduction programs. By involving communities, this project can address local needs and build resilience from the ground up. These creative approaches demonstrate the potential of integrating nature into our solutions to climate change. Utilizing these nature-based strategies can help us both prevent further climate change and adapt to its impacts in a sustainable and resilient manner. Remember, a collective effort is crucial to combat climate change. Every small action counts, and together we can make a significant difference.
First is the volunteer. Nguyễn Huệ High School union members engage in the summer activities to pick up the trash and rubbish, as you can see in the pictures and videos. Secondly, we establish a club which aims to reduce the carbon footprint. Monthly conversations are held to discuss global warming. The participants, as well as the presidents representing their organizations, can join in two ways, face-to-face or through the internet. Their presentation would be about goals achieved through each group's activities. By voicing my concerns via social media, or better yet, directly I send a message that I care about the warming world to the environmental organizations. For instance, WWF Vietnam and Let's Do It Vietnam. Record a video like a vlog about one day picking up rubbish and trash at Bai Chuok seaside to stimulate dwellers to try in garbage disposal. A project of all household ordinary bulbs replacement with LED lights is set it up, led to the reduction in the use of energy by a massive amount. We create a mailbox receiving opinions, comments, viewpoints, and ideas from students in Vũng Tàu City to set up various projects on account of contributing to the prevention of climate change. For example, a Nguyễn Huệ High School student came up with the idea of planting trees around her school or in her neighborhood. She mobilized households participating in afforestation every weekend when they are unoccupied. We can also use coal slag mixed with chemicals to make fertilizer. We encourage people to walk more as well as to cut down on the vehicle exhaust emissions by using step measurement app, pedometer, and step counter, which is highly recommended to calculate approximately walking distance. We will set developmental milestones for walking. For instance, if you reach 5 kilometers, you will receive 10 cents. 10 kilometers is 20 cents. We opened a workshop called 3R related to reducing, reusing, and recycling. When take part in this, we can recycle plastic products such as bottles, cups, to do handicrafts and to make flower vase, hand fans, Edison butterflies, and so on. It seems difficult to believe that our species dominated the planet for a short period of time could have such a huge impact on our planet's climate. That other living things we could have such little impact. There is no more time to waste. We are carrying towards the edge of the abyss. It is not too late to save costs, but every day that passes means the world heats up a little more and the cost of our inaction mounts. Our fate is in our hands. The world is counting on all of us to rise to challenge before it's too late. So, as soon as possible, let's try to change this situation.